Okay, so there's this thing going around on Instagram right now called the Yap Challenge. And before you click away thinking this is a social media episode, bear with me because it's actually not. This is an episode about something that happens to all of us business owners. And the Yap Challenge just happened to be one of the most recent examples. So the Yap Challenge is basically showing up online on Instagram, talking to camera, off the card, no script, no fancy editing, just you and your thoughts and your face. And the idea is that it builds the know and trust factor fast. We can all agree. And it's all over social media right now. And the name everyone keeps mentioning alongside is Jessie Jean, who just had a $1.2 million launch. 1.2 million. Yes. And the moment I heard the number, something just went off in my brain. Something I'm pretty sure happened to you too. So my brain went ding, 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 ding. That must be it. The Yap Challenge. That's the thing. I need to do that. And then I caught myself and thought, wait, let's look at this properly because you left Instagram for a reason. And obviously, this Yap Challenge thing, she's not the first person to create. And it's been out there. We all know that talking face to camera built the know, like, and trust factor. Why? Because people relate to the person more than they just relate to the brand, right? But so I had to just think down and say, okay, let me just dial it back and do some research before I actually make this crazy move back to Instagram when I know that's not something I want to do.
If you're feeling overwhelmed by the constant hustle of entrepreneurship and craving a more balanced, aligned way to grow your business, welcome, you're in the right place. This is the Balanced Business Formula podcast, where we dive into strategies that help you build a thriving business and life you love. I'm Rosemary, holistic business coach and mom of 3, passionate about helping women like you create sustainable success on your own terms. Each week, I'll be sharing actionable insights, real stories, and proven strategies to guide you towards more clarity, ease, and alignment. Whether you're just starting out or looking to scale without burnout, let's create a business that works with your life and not against it. Ready to get started? Let's dive in.
Welcome back to my channel. I'm Rosemary, business coach and homeschooling mama of 3. And today we're going to go somewhere real. So grab your favorite drink and let's go. So, because this Yap Challenge conversation really cracked something open in me, and I know it did for you too. So I have a complicated relationship with Instagram. And to be honest, I am on it, I use it, but I generally do not believe that it's a great platform for actually getting clients and customers, at least for the type of business that I run. And I think it's great for building worry and just showing people who you are and keeping you in someone kind of view. But converting and actually getting someone to pay, I feel like that's a different story for most of us. And yet, when I heard that 1.2 million launch and Yap Challenge in the same sentence, I was like, wait, what? Let me get closer to this. And especially, you know how it works. You click on something, one person says it, and before I knew it, my whole feed was covered with this Yap Challenge. I think that it's actually worth me talking about it because it happens to all of us. And it happens in a way that can derail you from strategies that actually are working. So you're going along, building something, staying consistent, doing the thing, and then you see this number or a screenshot or a viral post. And then suddenly the thing that you were doing 5 minutes ago feels like it's the wrong thing. Have you ever had that moment? Because I have that constantly. The shiny object syndrome. So you're often mid-launch or you're getting momentum with your content, or you just made a decision about your platform. And then someone else's results lands in on your feed and your whole plan suddenly feel like it's the wrong one. Yeah, we need to talk about that. So here's what I think is actually happening when we see someone else's big results and immediately try to reverse engineer their tactics. We do what I call selective maths. People say girl math, right? But we do the selective math. We see the results, we see the most visible recent action they took, and our brain draws a straight line between those two things like, oh, if they did this and they have that, then probably that's a correlation, right? Jessie did the Yap Challenge. Jessie had 1.2 million launch. Therefore, the Yap Challenge makes $1.2 million launches. But that is not how any of this works. And we know that. Logically, we know that. But emotionally, in the moment, that number does something to our nervous system and our logic goes on holiday. What we're not seeing when we see that number, we are not seeing the years and of trust she built before that launch. We're not seeing the warm email list, the existing community, the relationships, the offer clarity that came from probably years of iteration. We're not seeing the backend infrastructure that made it possible for a launch to actually capture and convert that much interest. We're not seeing any of that. We are seeing the Yap Challenge because that is what is visible. That is what is recent. That is what got talked about. And this is not a criticism to Jessie at all. Good for her. That's amazing. Generally, like 1.2 million launch is impressive, and it takes real work to build it. And she did that. This is about us and the story our brain tells us when we see it. Because the Yap Challenge, if it contributed to that result, was almost certainly the amplifier, not the engine. An amplifier makes something loud, but if there's nothing there to amplify, you should have noise. And the question worth asking is not, should I do the Yap Challenge? The question should be, what is my engine? And am I actually feeding it? So let me give you a framework here because I think it can be really useful. So in your business, everything you do is either an engine or an amplifier. An engine builds something over time. It compounds. It creates trust and traffic that does not disappear when you stop posting. And an amplifier spreads what you already have to more people more quickly. For me, and most of the clients I work with in my world, the engine is long-form content. Podcast, YouTube channel, a blog, something search-based, something that exists after you hit publish and keeps working without you standing in front of a camera every single day, because we don't have to. Because here's what the reality of our lives looks like. Most of us are not just running a business, we're homeschooling parents, parenting or caring for someone, we're managing health things, everything, capacity things. We're doing a lot. And the platforms and formats that require you to show up daily, perform daily, produce daily, those are just not sustainable engines for most of us. These are hamster wheels dressed up as marketing strategies. A podcast episode I recorded in January still brings people to my world in June. A YouTube video from 6 months ago still generates inquiries. That is what an engine does. An Instagram story I posted at 9 a.m., relevant about lunchtime, maybe Tuesday if I'm lucky. Now, social media is not useless. Instagram can absolutely be an amplifier. The Yap Challenge, if it suits you, can be an amplifier. LinkedIn has been an amplifier for me, but none of it replaces the real engine. So the question I want you to sit with is this. Do you have an engine? Not a plan for one, not I should probably start a podcast through, though that has been on your notes app for like 8 months, an actual engine that is running. And if you do have one, are you actually feeding it consistently? Or are you spending most of your energy on the amplifiers while the engine is quietly gathering dust? Because I see this constantly with business owners I work with. They have a podcast with 12 episodes. They haven't recorded since March. They have a YouTube channel they started to build content. They have an email list they haven't emailed since their last launch. The engine is there. It just needs fuel. Now, back to the Yap Challenge. Am I going to do this? Honestly, probably not. At least not in the way that it's meant to be done, because Instagram is not where my buyers are. And I know that about my business. The data tells me that my clients come from my podcast, from LinkedIn, from referrals, not from Instagram stories. But here's what the Yap Challenge reminded me of, and that is actually useful. There is really something really appealing about talking off the cuff and about showing up without a script, without pressure to be perfect, without a production process that takes 3 hours for a 5-minute video. And that energy, that low friction, real human just talking energy, that is actually something I can bring to my podcast. In fact, that's exactly what inspired this episode. This is my version of the Yap Challenge. I just decided to put it somewhere that will keep working for me in 6 months instead on a platform that will compound instead of a place that might forget it by Tuesday. So a place where people are actually searching for answers and not scrolling for entertainment. And here's what I want to say to you, because I think this matters. The impulse behind the Yap Challenge is a good one. Showing up, being human, building real connection, real conversations. That instinct is sound. The platform choice is what needs to match your actual business model. So if you've been eyeing the Yap Challenge or the latest trend or someone else's launch strategy, and part of you is wondering, should I also be doing that? Here's a question you should ask instead. What is your engine? Is it running? Are you feeding it? Because your version of the Yap Challenge already exists. It just might be the podcast episode you've been putting off recording, the email sequence that needs finishing, the YouTube video you keep pushing to next week. That is where your 1.2 million starts. Not on someone else's platform, not in someone else's challenge. In your engine, consistently fueled. If this episode sparks something for you, if you're sitting there thinking, okay, but what is my engine actually? And how do I know if it's working? I have something for you. It's called the Business Alignment Audit. And it's a 10-minute questionnaire that takes about 3 minutes to answer, which will tell you exactly where the friction is hiding in your business and what to do about it. It takes only 3 minutes. And once you do that, it will help you get clear on what is causing the friction in your business and what to do about it. The link is in the show notes. The link is here below. So grab it, fill it in, and don't sign up. Fill in it before you sign up for any challenge. And after filling it in, if you actually want to talk it through with someone and see what your engine actually should look like or what would make the biggest difference in your business right now, I do business growth audit calls, and that link is here below as well. Thank you for spending this time here. And if this resonated, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Leave a review, and if you're feeling generous, it helps more people to find the show. If you know what your engine is and your amplifier, I'm curious to know, just drop it in the comment section here below. See you in the next video. Bye.
Thank you so much for spending your time with me today on the Balanced Business Formula podcast. I hope this episode gave you some clarity, inspiration, or practical steps to move closer to a business and life you love. If you enjoyed today's episode, I'd love it for you to subscribe, leave a review, or share it with another entrepreneur who could use this insight. Your support means the world to me and helps us grow this community. Until next time, remember, success isn't just about hustle, it's about building a business that aligns with you. Take care, and I'll see you in the next episode.